I think I found a brand new way to create, let's call them abstract light portraits. We are going to paint light. I mean, literally paint light on top of our subject. Enough talking, let me just show you guys what it's all about. So to start, we are going to need a few things. So this is the under $300 Jafar 1080p 10,000 lumen, or so they claim, projector. I just call him Jafar. He's a simple, bright, and cheap projector. This is called a cheese plate. You can get one of these at Amazon for about 30 bucks. It's a mounting plate for all sorts of video equipment. You may be wondering how I mounted this onto the projector. I used a tape called VHB tape. That's very high bond tape. It's basically like NASA level adhesive. This ain't going anywhere. I was able to put an Arca Swiss tripod mount on the cheese plate, which enables me to use any ball head and relatively robust tripod. I'm simply gonna mount it like it's just a camera or something like that. Next up, meet Lucy. Lucy is my stand-in model for me. She is the canvas I am going to light paint on live and in real time. Lucy is gonna live on my Manfrotto travel stand that I have behind me. You can't see it, but inside my closet is a black solid, one of those pop-out black thingies. You want darkness behind your subject, and you want your subject to be kind of separated from that darkness. So the light from the projector kind of fades off into the background, really just gets on your subject and you don't contaminate too much else. Oh yeah, how about this? How about my Sony a7 IV, brand new, right behind me on my Peak Everyday tripod. I'm running it to this MacBook Pro via USB-C. I'm using the Sony remote software that you can get for free to remote control the camera, and I gotta say, it's actually really good. I'm really impressed with how much Sony has leveled up their software game. That includes both on the iPhone and the MacBook. But that is not all, guys. I actually have another computer right here to my left. This is my Razer Blade Pro. I have this laptop plugged into the projector. It's gonna be my imaging source. I'm also gonna use my old Wacom tablet here to draw. Let's turn on good old trusty Jafar. Look, Jafar, yay. I've switched over so you can see my Mac screen, and I can also pop up the PC screen so you can kind of see everything that's going on all at once. What you're looking at in the big screen right now is the remote app from Sony. You are seeing the light projected onto Lucy there from Jafar. If you look at what I'm doing on my PC, you can see that I can move around this focus pattern. And I like to start with this focus pattern every time I do this because it really helps me dial in, focus. I'm gonna make a new blank layer in Affinity, Photoshop, whatever. I'm gonna pick any kind of brush, and I'm gonna pick, let's just say, the color red right now. And I'm gonna move my mouse around until I actually see it through the projector on my model. I can start painting with light right on top of Lucy. I'm just gonna do like a quick scrub right now. Using primary colors or like really strong colors is a pretty cool technique because you can change them and do all kinds of fun things to them in Lightroom. I have no set plan with what I'm doing right now. I just know that it's really cool that I can draw right on my model. That's pretty cool. I'm just gonna say that. I think that looks cool. Every time I do this, I create something completely new, and it's exciting, and it feels so good that like the responsiveness of being able to draw like right on top of the subject is really, really cool. So I'm just gonna sketch out something really crazy. I'm gonna try putting myself where Lucy is and seeing if I can get some photos on me. You may wanna instruct your model to look away from the projector. It can be pretty bright. Be careful of your eyes. If you're light sensitive, do not try this at home. One last thing. The most fun part for me is when I like remove Lucy and put my head in there. It's like that scene in Indiana Jones at the beginning where he's taking the idol in the sand. Watch what's about to happen. Yeah, I completely fumbled that one. I think I got some great stuff. It is time to get into Lightroom. The first thing I like to do is I like to just go to my curve and bring in the blacks just a little bit to get rid of all the extra light spilling in the background. For me, the look is really about focusing on the image. You can go in and start playing around with all the colors. You can see that there's this kind of, you know, pattern to it. And so what I've found that works is to go down to texture. You can reduce the texture and clarity just a little bit. You can also play around with dehaze just a little bit to help that out. So that's just my main test image right there. If I took a look at this photo of her with the more dynamic slats over to the side, this maybe we make this one like a cool sunrise kind of situation, just warm it up. Yeah, I've kind of created a pretty cool like noir, smoky, Blade Runner-y kind of window slat look. This is where I start getting into the custom painting, and this is where things get significant to me because you can really do some interesting stuff if you control the color palette. We're gonna do our basic look here where we bring in the blacks just to get rid of that outer stuff, maybe up our gamma just a little bit. But now we have the ability to really mess with these colors. I could take this green and make it like more cyan or even yellow, kind of digging yellow. I could take the red, maybe make it pink. Maybe I'll go back to cyan. If you go and you paint with really specific colors, Lightroom does a great job of plucking them out. You can like really mess with stuff when it's black and white because you can go down here into your black and white mixer and you can like just start punching out and knocking out colors and do all kinds of crazy stuff. I mean, look at that. I can actually like literally just cut it down to that, which is so cool. Sometimes you don't even need to do much. It just looks cool. This one looks really cool. I mean, that's a cool picture. That's really cool. That's a pretty cool one. Let's add a bunch of contrast. Actually, what's really intriguing to me about this one is playing around with it in black and white. See that edge? Like, look at that crazy edge that I'm starting to develop right there. A lot of people would say that that edge is like not what you're supposed to do, but I love doing things that you're not supposed to do. That's kind of interesting. You can go black and white with a little bit of color. It's calling to me to just grab my eyes like this and just change the eye color just a little bit. Original to new, original to new. So yeah, just a lot of fun. So that's it, guys. That is the basic idea. We are visually painting with light on our subject in real time. What excites me the most about this is that I'm able to share this idea with you guys, that it's a concept, it's a seed, it's the beginning of something really cool and really great that I'm sure more talented artists like you out there are gonna take off with. You're just gonna do crazy things with it. If you want to dive into even more creative and technical insanity with me, you know what to do. Hit like, subscribe, hit the bell, you know the routine. Post comments, ask questions. I think that's it for now. Back to the day job.